What? What? Bang!
Whoa! Wrestling podcast. Just when they think they got the answers, I change the question.
Rep through rep.
Yeah!
Woo! Who are you to doubt El Dan? Because this guy's a serious professional.
Can he do it? Unbelievable!
I'm too hot to handle and too cold to hold. And I am Macho King Savage.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty! I said WWE stands for! It's me, Austin! I will never retire!
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, yo, Pro Wrestling Podcast listeners, welcome to the show where we don't sing it, we bring it. Help us out and click subscribe to show your support. Hey, look, are you sick and tired of dropping $60 to $100 for the latest and greatest wrestling video game? You gotta stop. Tune in to Wrestler Unstoppable. The location would be app.wrestlerunstoppable.com, where you can create a wrestler, sign contracts, get involved in storylines, headline PLEs, even build your own corporation from the ground up, all included in Wrestler Unstoppable, available totally free, all users. If you want to become a member of the Pro Wrestling Podcast family, want your name in the shout-outs, like my good buddy John down in Texas. John, love giving you that shout-out. Then you got to pop over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/Pro Wrestling Podcast. Sign up today. Loyalty rewards: if you contribute $15 a month, you get to co-host a show with me. $7.50 a month, enter into a drawing to also co-host with myself. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight for this episode of the Pro Wrestling Podcast. While we're online or after the fact, if you want to shoot us any questions, comments, concerns, something you want me to touch on in a future episode, then the only way I'm going to know that is if you call into the Pro Wrestling Sound Off line 267-642-1160, and I will get to those questions, comments, or concerns in a future episode. Tonight, we are talking predictions. Predictions for Night of Champions. WWE, this card is an interesting mix of, I don't want to say inconsequential matches, but certainly matches you could see going on a television show versus ones that could be very consequential for SummerSlam and have long-lasting effects. As we go through the matches, I'm not going to do them in the order I think they're going to come out, because we already know that the King and Queen of the Ring tournament finals will both be available for free on ESPN, and I'm going to do one of those matches last. So, spoiler alert. But for the rest of the matches, let's go through them one at a time. Let's start with Io Sky versus Liv Morgan in the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. And we got a lot going on here. One, we still want to get that one-on-one matchup with Io versus Rhea Ripley. This is a way you could do that. We also still want to see the friction, the dissension between Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I think we can accomplish both here, because it sounds like Stephanie Vaquera is not ready to come back yet, which is what they were waiting for Liv Morgan. So instead, I think this is where you pull the trigger. Io goes over Liv Morgan. Io Sky wins. She will go on to face Rhea Ripley, while Liv Morgan will go on to have a feud with Raquel Rodriguez at SummerSlam. And I think what would add a layer to the Liv Morgan-Raquel Rodriguez feud is if they made it so Roxanne Perez had to be the special referee. That would be phenomenal. And I don't really know which side she should side with. I think you would lean towards Raquel, and that way you could have the Liv versus Roxanne thing later on. But that's where we're going for the prediction part of this. Io Sky defeats Liv Morgan. For the United States Championship, Trick Williams defending against Ricky Saints. And look, I think they're about equally talented, and I think either one could walk away with the championship, and I would have no problem no matter which way they go with this. But the reality is, Trick Williams, and in a lot of ways, having Lil Yachty there with him, is so over, so popular, and he has grown so much as a performer. I really don't think this is the time you take the belt off of Trick. Let him keep it a little while longer. I think it's adding some credibility to that championship, and I would not take it off him. So my official prediction is Trick Williams retains the United States Championship over Ricky Saints. We go on to the steel cage match, Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins. And look, this one, I'm to be honest with you, so I was sitting down mapping this out. I was really going back and forth on who I thought was going to go where, who was going to face who, or like who was going to come out on top of each match. And really, this match messed with me. I scribbled out my thought process 2 or 3 times before I finally decided where I want to go with this. What I have felt the whole time is that ever since Seth Rollins got injured, they've kind of buried Braun Breaker, when they really should have been working to build him to be an unstoppable force in wrestling. That whole faction's been so snake-bitten, it's been ridiculous. This past week, by them losing the tag team championship to the Street Profits, you open the door that Braun now has no tag team obligations, and now he could just focus on being Braun. If I was WWE, I do not believe that Seth Rollins loses anything about his position in the company by losing to Braun, whereas I see Braun losing to Seth would dramatically decrease his stock value, and that is one of the guys who's supposed to be the future of your company. We're all waiting on certain feuds that they've teased in the past. Braun Breaker versus Roman, Braun Breaker versus Jacob Fatu, Braun Breaker versus Cody Rhodes, people like that. So if you're ever going to get to those, you got to keep Braun strong. Seth Rollins loses this match, you could put Seth and Roman together tomorrow and it would still sell tickets. If Seth Rollins loses this, you could still put Seth into a feud with anybody, Gunther, Cody, Punk, and it would still sell tickets. But if you bury Braun Breaker again, I think you dramatically take away from his character, and that's going to be difficult for him to come back from. Fans only stay on board for so long before they give up, and I don't want to see that happen. So, even though I flip-flopped several times throughout the day, I'm going with Braun Breaker over Seth Rollins in the cage match. Moving on to Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton for the Women's United States Championship. This is really, for me, predicated on what's going on with Rhea Ripley. Now, I already did my predictions for the EO match to face Ripley, but they could change things on the fly if they had to. That being said, I think it behooves them to put the United States Championship on Jade Cargill in case Rhea cannot go. And the reason I say that is, not that Tiffany Stratton isn't a completely legitimate women's champion caliber performer. She did just get the championship. However, I think the fans really want to see the Jade Cargill Charlotte match, and you really want to have some pomp and circumstance to that, putting the Women's United States Championship on the line, a championship that Charlotte has never held, keeps her out of the world title picture, which some of the fans seem to want for some reason, even though she's been out for a couple of years, and gives her a championship she can go after that she's never held before. I'm totally in favor of that. So in my opinion, simply by virtue of needing a solid women's match for sure at SummerSlam that doesn't involve Charlotte and Tiffany, I think that's why you go with Jade Cargill defeating Tiffany Stratton for the United States Championship to then later go on to defend against Charlotte at SummerSlam. Unless Rhea's back, and if Rhea's back, then you do the return match on SmackDown, put the title back on Stratton, and do something different. But that is my prediction officially for this show. Jade Cargill picks up the United States Championship. For the WWE Championship, Cody defending against Gunther and Sami Zayn, triple threat match. I've gone back and forth on this quite a bit too. At first, I thought the only thing I was sure of is Cody was not walking out champion. I felt like you're in Saudi Arabia. This is a great opportunity to give Sami Zayn his big win. And if you're not going to give it to him at WrestleMania, there is no place better to give it to him than Saudi Arabia. He would get the biggest pop of all time in that country. So that was where my head went first. Then it was, Gunther really deserves a run with this championship. He had the World Heavyweight Championship, but this is the WWE Championship. Maybe it's going to be Gunther. Especially after Zayn talked about how he defeated Gunther before on SmackDown. So maybe that's how they do it, and Cody doesn't get pinned, so Cody stays strong. Then I'm hearing reports that potentially, and I think we all suspected this anyways, that Cody and Punk is the match for SummerSlam. If that's the case, then Cody has to retain the championship. I just don't know if fans are going to be happy about that, because it's not that they don't like Cody. He's still a top merch seller, but they're turning too frequently on Cody. And Cody's not John Cena. He's just not. We can't get a Cody sucks, let's go Cody thing going on. It just doesn't hit the same way. So I don't want to see that, but I actually think because of the need to really jam-pack the arena in Minnesota for a 2-night SummerSlam, I think they have to have Cody win to have the match with Punk. Then what do you do with Gunther and Zayn at that show? I don't know. because we were all hoping to see Gunther and Brock. Now, obviously, that's not happening. I don't know that that's ever going to happen now at this point. So I don't know where we go with this. It's very difficult. So my official prediction is Cody retains the championship over Gunther and Sami Zayn, leading to Cody defending against CM Punk at SummerSlam. And the match that I saved for last, which we know is going to be on the pre-show anyways, Oba Femi versus Jey Uso. And the reason I saved it is because this is the one I'm having the toughest time with. I think even a blind man can see that Oba should win this going away. But then what do? He obviously still has to have the rubber match with Brock, and then if he wins this, he has to have a match with Roman. Now, I've seen people, I have so much respect for Ali and Luke over at Wrestle Talk News. They have predicted everything from a triple threat match to main eventing both nights, night 1 against Brock, night 2 against Roman for Oba. I'm going to throw a couple other options out there for you as well. Jey Uso could win this thing because of outside interference by Brock Lesnar, opening up the doorway to Oba versus Lesnar Part 3 and where he retires Brock. And Jey supposed to go and challenge Cody Rhodes and go against Roman's wishes because of how tight he's got with Jacob. And Jey could challenge Roman and run it back from a few years back in OG Bloodline days. And you could see Roman defeat Jey at SummerSlam. You could see that. I actually am in favor of either the dual main event thing, Oba over Brock night 1, Oba over Roman night 2. The only thing I have has reservations about that for is that you're beating two of your biggest main attractions. And then if you do that in back-to-back nights, like who in the heck could possibly beat that guy? You know what I mean? You almost make him unbeatable. So I don't love that idea. If I was going to pick between the two, I think I would go with the triple threat where like he wins the King of the Ring, he gets his shot, but he also wants Brock, so you put them all in the same match together and do a three-way where he, somehow beats Brock to win the championship, but he didn't beat Roman, and that way you could have a rematch down the line. I don't know. So in terms of Night of Champions, I got to give you a prediction, and my prediction is this. I'm going to predict that Oba Femi defeats Jey Uso, but I can't give you any more than that because I don't know what the heck they're going to do. Again, if I had my way, it would be a triple threat at SummerSlam. We'll have to wait and see. That's all the time we have for this episode. Check back with us next episode. We run down the latest wrestling news and rumors. Special thanks, as always, to Suno for creating the music and sound effects we use in our show. Today's show is sponsored in part by Beezle Games. Bring a new friend to family game night. It's easy with sketchy people. Showcase your artistic side in this game from Beezle Games by going to thegamecrafter.com and picking up your copy today. If you're looking for your next career move, college, university life, maybe you just need some formal training for your next career decision, go to our website at frolifeplanning.com for all your higher education needs, as Fro Life Educational Planning is for today, for tomorrow, for life with Fro Life. I'm Fred Froelich, better known as Dr. Fro. I want to thank you for taking some time with us tonight. Until next time, take care. Have a good night, everybody. Have a good one.
Wrestling Podcast.